So hi.
Hello everyone.
I'm Matt.
Yeah, I'm June.
And so basically we are from Malaysia. Both of us are from Malaysia, and just to introduce a bit about who we are. We are from Malaysia, and we had our bachelor's in Malaysia. Architecture bachelor's, and after that we came to Germany for our master's in Dessau, and then we graduated. So at the moment we are looking for a job in Berlin or Germany or Europe, but somehow we've been unsuccessful. So here we are trying to make sense of what's happening to us and to share with anyone what we are thinking at the moment, while trying to continue research on certain topics that interest us, and that's what we'll be talking about, our research, and also to improve our presentation and language skills, since we are terrible. But anyway, most importantly, we want to hear what other people think about the topics we talk about, so that
we can learn together.
Yeah, we can learn together. So it's not only a research between the two of us, but hopefully other people listening would also we would appreciate if you just leave comments so we can discuss further. And so our plan is to do this like once a week with different topics of architecture
that we are interested.
But just for some warning, on maybe just some information, two of us only have like a few years of in real life architecture practice. So basically we are not really talking about the professional architecture practice, but rather we are trying to we are looking more towards the architecture at an educational level, like more towards the theoretical part of it. So I think that's all our introduction. I mean,
for the podcast that we're gonna share. Okay, so
but without the name yet, so whatever it is. So today we thought of starting out our topic, starting out this podcast, our whole podcast with this topic, which is since we studied in both Malaysia, which I mean, if you didn't know, it's in Asia or Southeast Asia to be more exact. And since we've studied in both Malaysia and Germany, what is the difference between studying in Malaysia and studying in Germany?
Which is the culture and the changes is so big difference. So I guess we will have a lot of to talk about that.
So I guess my first question will be like, if you had one thing to say is different, like what do you think is the biggest difference between studying in Asia compared to studying in Europe?
I mean, before we come to this question, like we did the introduction for the podcast, but we didn't do like the introduction of like what we and where we study in Malaysia, like which university or which college. So for me, I did my bachelor in tailors. So it's a 3 years bachelor degree study. And what about Matt?
But I guess all of bachelors in Malaysia is 3 years anyway. But I studied in UCSI University. So my final project in the bachelor's was an urban agriculture center.
I think mostly like this final year for bachelors are mostly urban farming,
It's, as I know, it has to be some kind of center. It's like it's a requirement by the Association of Architects in Malaysia. In Malaysia, that in order to get the Part 1, which is the same as the British law, British RIBA, because Malaysia was also a colony of Britain, Great Britain, UK at the time. So basically, all our laws are pretty much pulled from the UK, and so we still have this Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 thing. And in order to get Part 1 in Malaysia, it's a requirement
to do this kind of public community center, which is related to our environment in Malaysia.
Yeah,
So
it just has to be some kind of center somehow.
So I think I guess like mostly college university in Malaysia have this quite similar syllabus for the bachelor.
Mhm.
So but how long have you worked in like after your bachelor?
I worked for 2 years actually in a
Mm.
professional architecture firm.
Mm.
But what I did there is like mostly I've handled one project throughout the whole 2 years, which is a renovation of a old shopping mall. Yeah, but that's about it. But it's
Yeah.
from the starting, from the design all the way to the construction. But I guess nothing much to talk about that.
Yeah.
So how about you?
For me, I worked for like 2 years, 1.5 years around that. Yeah, but what I'm kind of like different from Matt, which is I've never like handled the whole process of construction, which is because my firm mostly the projects are related to development. So actually, a development needs maybe up to like 5 years, 3 to 5 years. So which is I only work for 2 years. So probably what I involved like is only like master planning or design phases, and also like authority submissions for this my 2 years of practice after my bachelor. So this is what we did back in Malaysia.
Yeah, so after that, we came to Germany, to study, to continue our studies, which is the master in. Interestingly, it's called Master in Dessau International Architecture. So we actually have not we don't actually have a Master of Architecture. We actually have a MA. There's a Master in Master of Arts in Dessau International Architecture. But
well, that's the course name, I guess. But the school name is not like what universities or what college, but it's in Germany. It's called Hochschule Anhalt. And most interesting thing is like our school is actually next to the Bauhaus, which is
it's quite cool.
Yes, it's quite cool.
Yeah, because we although we are not exactly in Bauhaus, but we can say that we studied like our classroom literally has a view of Bauhaus.
Yes, we actually can see them every day. Yeah. So
okay, so yes, we should talk about our thesis topics another time since it's already kind of long anyway. So, straight to the topic. I think we should just start with a topic. Like, what is according to your opinion, like, the difference between studying in Malaysia and studying in Germany? And if you had the first thing to say is like, if you had one thing to say is different, like, what is the biggest difference between studying in Asia and compared to studying in Europe?
Okay, for me, I would say the one keyword is just the it's not keywords, like the phrase is how you express your idea or your concept from Asia country and in Europe country. I guess like the Asian kids like brought up in kind of like this Chinese mindset. I mean, as I'm a Chinese family from a Chinese family, so we kind of like don't express our idea too much or too wow. I mean, even like I've studied in like in Malaysia, my bachelor, I kind of like what I want to express throughout my idea or concept, I have to like relate it to practicality or even like construction. I mean, I understand that this makes sense, but this kind of like just
it kind
constrain
of
like,
constrain your imagination,
my
creativity.
So, but what I did in my masters in Germany, I've met like lecturers from the Western, definitely. So they actually like push us to way beyond our creativity and our imagination. So which is what I got for my what I did for my thesis is really I couldn't like I didn't imagine that I would did something like this back then.
Actually, I really agree with that, because what I thought, like the biggest difference is that in Malaysia, what was taught is I always felt like they are teaching me to come up like after studying, they expect me to be working under someone. Like although that's obviously true, I obviously have to work under someone at some point, at least for a while, to gain some experience. But I feel like that's the only thing that they're actually trying to teach us, which is to work under someone. So basically we need to have the skills to like draw a proper floor plan and draw, which I mean these things are important obviously, but they never actually taught us to kind of cultivate our thinking. They don't teach us how to think. They are just teaching us how to do. So I feel that's the biggest difference, because when I was here I was actually kind of culture shocked for a while, and the lecturers here, they kept actually trying to get me to think differently compared to how I actually did my design back in Malaysia, which is just to basically to fulfill the requirements, and that's just it. As long as I can fulfill the requirements, then
it's
everything
like a checklist, like okay, I have this, so okay, so you can pass. But
so throughout the whole, which I actually took my diploma first before I took a bachelor. So throughout my whole studies, which is like 5 years of architecture studies in Malaysia, it's like they just, for every single design studio, there's always a certain checklist, which is I need to prepare this floor plan, I need to prepare this elevation, whether or not this floor plan or elevation and whatnot has anything to do with the design is not important at all. You need to have it.
Yes.
Yeah, so I feel that's really different. And when I came to Germany, my first design studio, I only had to prepare like one one AO sheet of board, whereas in my final in Malaysia, my final bachelor's, I need to prepare 9 AOs, which is like in the end I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just throwing everything I have inside.
We're just doing like what according to a checklist, and we did 3 floor plans or whatever
so
section.
Like, even if it's not nice, but it's a requirement, so I just throw it in. It doesn't have to anything to do with my idea. You just throw it in just for the sake of like it should just be there. Yeah, but when I actually found that when I had to just do one AO, I found that it's actually kind of I actually have to choose what's important.
And it really show the most important, which is can express your idea concept. Other than 9 AOs and just it's either unnecessary or what.
Like seriously, 9 AOs. Can you imagine that just for one project? This is one presentation which is 10 minutes. I'm not even sure how we actually managed to present that, but oh well.
I don't think it's like we have 9 AOs, but with 10 minutes we could only like present 50%, and the left 50% is just there and no one to present. So this is the one thing that we could think of, and we could think of the one thing that really obvious.
It's the biggest thing. I mean, but other than that, it's like imagine the different workload also. I mean, I'm not really sure about like other places in Europe or something, or maybe it's just our school or something, but it's really really different because the workload in Malaysia is so terrible. It's like I don't know how to explain how this one. It was really crazy. But how was it in Taylor's actually?
I don't know, it's like maybe different lecturers has different approach for what I did for my final bachelor project. It's like what my lecturer told me, your massing models, your study models expired after 24 hours. So it's like I need to like keep exploring. Even I haven't complete my study models, and so I have to forget about this and make one. I mean, it's kind of that's very I agree. It's like a pushing a pressure approach to let you think more idea about like how should you approach your design. But it depends actually. Like not every studio or every lecturers did that way of approach towards their students. So It's really like a very heavy workload for me at that time. But after that, come to Germany, and it's really different. I would say it's a lot of different
Yeah, I guess
about workload. Yeah.
it's really. I mean, just for me, I actually felt really, really chill in Germany. Although I actually spent quite a lot of time on like my studios and other workings and whatnot, but it feels just chill. It's just a feeling. It's like I don't have that pressure of like these lecturers hounding on me and like
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, what should I prepare for next
yeah,
studio?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And okay, so how about like the lecturer attitude? Like how do they actually talk to you back in Taylor's? I mean, compared to Germany, is there a difference?
Different wise, for me, what the lecturers that I've met, that I've worked together with, mostly are really passionate about architecture. So I could say I'm lucky, but just that the way of their passion, how they educate me or how they share that experience with me is, I mean, it's also different way. It's like the lecturer in Malaysia was an architect, so the way of his approach or his experience sharing are more way to and practicality. But what happened in Germany is like the lecturers that I met, the first lecturer that I met in Germany is like my first studio is like from Fak Studio. It's a young, it's
FAKT,
a FAKT, yeah, just to
FAKT fucked.
Yeah, Fak Studio. So both of them are really young architects. So I mean, in another way of saying, it's like they are more wow in pushing us to think more creatively, and also just try to break the rules out, think out of the box. So this is a bit of different. Like one is more practicality, and one is more beyond your. You could think even further of even wilder.
Yeah,
So
I had an elective under them as well, and they were actually. I mean, the comments they gave were actually really, really helpful. It's very critical thinking kind of comments. It's not like they just criticize you for criticizing kind of thing. Yeah, it was really,
they
really
kind of like
helpful.
make you think, oh, well, why didn't I thought about that? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, back back in Malaysia again, it's like I actually broke down. I literally broke down a few times during a studio. I mean, it could be just this particular lecturer, but I mean, she just had a problem with my whole class. She didn't have problems with other classes. It's just like just my class in particular for some reason, and she's like. She's just crazy, and I broke down.
So basically, what she did, I mean, she's not too concentrated or passionate with your class.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really like passionate on it. I think she just hated us for some reason.
Okay.
And it's like, I mean, because our studio, I mean, design studio in Malaysia is basically normally divided into like a small project first, which lasts for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then there'll be a big project that's related. It's kind of the small project is kind of like an exercise for the bigger project. So in this particular studio, like in the small project, this particular lecturer actually she failed like 70% of us. Like literally, it's not like we got a D or like unsatisfactory. It's like literally just an F, like 0 marks for that whole small project. Like just because she didn't like us, because like all of us actually finished our work. There was no like late submissions, and I mean it's not like everybody's work is terrible as far as I can tell anyway. But she just failed us like 0 marks for no particular reason.
Doesn't make sense. Like it's a 0 marks.
Yeah, I mean we have everything. We finish our design. I mean, she just doesn't like the idea, so she just fails us.
Okay, that's kind of like sucks.
So in the next project, I mean like the big project, which is supposed to be much more important. If we fail this, we'll be like we have to repeat the whole semester. I broke down like 2 or 3 times within one night. trying to like just finish up the thing, and I wasn't even expecting to get an A anymore. I was just like, as long as I pass.
Yeah.
But I still broke down a few times, so I just gave up. And then after 20 minutes, I came back. I got up. I go back up, and I start doing like a few times.
Continue again.
It's just so stressful. But in Germany, I actually have this one of my advisors for my thesis. He always gave very good comments. I mean, it's not that he just gives good comments, he also gives bad comments. I mean, not like bad comments, but criticizing my works. It's like he always trying to find a balance between, oh, you did something wrong here, maybe you should do this or this or something like that. But what you did correct, you did these few things good. I mean, this makes me feel so much more encouraged to do my design compared to motivated.
True.
Compared to like just like
same to me.
throwing
like,
water on me or something, and like just
they were saying, wow,
why
it's good that you did this, but I would like suggest or recommend, or maybe you could do this as well. What you could like think about it. Wow, this is just so much like with me a lot more thinking compared to okay, but this is like, oh yeah, what they say like could be true, but also I could like explain why didn't I do that, or why should I not do that as well. So this is really...
in Malaysia it's just like, oh no, you shouldn't do this.
Yes.
There's no other reason. Like you shouldn't. It's just you shouldn't do this. Not you could have done this. And it's like, anyway, but I actually feel like we have a lot more things to say about the difference, but we're kind of like reaching our
for this episode.
we are reaching our limit on the time. So I guess we should continue this
we definitely
another
can
time.
Continue for the part 2. So
I mean, so far we are kind of like, I think we just keep bashing on how we study in Malaysia. I think there's actually quite a lot of
still got
there are actually good things, but I think we just haven't managed to reach there yet. And it's already time to stop.
We will share that for the next part, by the way. So
bye then.
Okay, so thank you for listening. We will come back again. Thank you. So
I guess leave some comments or anything. And,
leave some comments, and what do you think about studying in your country and another country? Maybe we can like just talk about it together.
Maybe just compared to what we've been talking about, and we'll really love to hear about it.
Okay, so we will see you again next week. Thank you very much for hearing. Bye. And then goes off track at the end.